Thomas, just following on from that theme, Daniel Levy's been such a massive figure at this club. It's hard to compare many other chairmen, many other clubs, just because of the sheer longevity and how he's one of the most sort of visible public figures compared to other clubs where people might not even know the chairman. Just a feeling of what the post Daniel Levy era has been like since around the training ground. I know you said business as usual, but it must be a bit different. I mean, it's massive.
Yeah, it happened Thursday. I was back at the training ground Monday, and then we had 4 trainings, and it was not that Daniel was out there on a training pitch or in the meeting rooms or so. It is basically business as usual for me, because the transfer window closed, where there was a lot of interaction. So I don't think it has changed too much for me personally so far. So maybe it's too early to ask about that. But of course, there's people that worked with Daniel for so much longer, which is most likely more, is more different for them, I guess.
You would have known before you came here how there was a protest last season. It wasn't just against him, it was against the ownership as well. Who are the same ownership but different sort of generations. Is there not part of you that's sort of thinking, oh, right, well, maybe that's not going to happen as much now, as a sort of relief now that Daniel's gone? But do you sense there'll be a difference that when things don't go as well during the season, like we've seen in the past, where some of the fans are taking against the ownership of the club and the chairman, that might not happen?
To be honest, I haven't thought about that at all. And I think that the main bit is probably because I haven't been part of it. Of course, as you said, of course I heard about it. I think one of you guys said it a few weeks ago, or when there was maybe another demonstration or unhappy fans. So, yeah, I haven't thought too much about that. So, hopefully just win a lot of games and everything is easier.
Fair enough. And just lastly, a bit of a left field one. What do you make of half and half scarves? Because West Ham has banned them again.
Half and half scarves. So what? Half what?
Half West Ham, one Spurs in this occasion. They sell them on the streets.
I guess it's a little bit odd between two clubs that maybe don't like each other that much. So, to be fair, I don't know who probably not selling that much. So the one who came with that idea probably is not the most wealthy guy or girl in the world, I guess. So the answer is probably yeah.
Hi Thomas. Since Daniel's gone, have you spoken to or met with anyone from the Lewis family who are now obviously going to be more involved than they were?
Yeah, I've spoken to a few from the Lewis family, and of course also spoken to Peter Charrington, the new non-exec chairman. Also spoke to him before. Of course, he was in the board. So yeah, there's been good constructive conversations, and feel the backing, and they're happy.
I'm not asking you to tell me what they told you.
Good, thank you.
But broadly speaking, did they give you quite a clear idea of what this new era, what they hope it's going to look like? Because we keep hearing new era and sustained sporting success, but we don't get the detail. Without telling us it, unless you want to, I'd love you to.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the detail? Have they been quite detailed?
I think it's fair to say things has gone quite quick. So I'm also quite convinced that the next couple of months we'll be more aware of what is the future plans. Where we will make them hopefully together. I think that's the best way to do it. So yeah. But the thing is that everything I sense and been told and feel is positivity and backing.
And do you get the sense, therefore, that this job might even be a better job than you thought it was going to be?
I think I think it's a great job. I think it was a great job when I was appointed 3 months ago, something like that. I think it's a great job now. I'm pretty sure, I hope it's a great job. It depends, of course, a little bit about how many games we're going to win, but in the next 3 months, but the plan is to win games. So that I don't know. I just know, I got a feeling it's a great job.
Well, one of the other things that we hear about going forward in the new era has been about transparency. you come from a very transparent club in Brentford where things work. Is that something you're in favour of? And if it's important, why is it important?
I think it's very important to be transparent, to be clear. What are we dealing with? What is the ambitions? Can we adjust expectations? Are we on the same page? What is the strategy? Are we aligned? I think that's absolutely crucial. To be fair, I think that was pretty clear throughout since I've been appointed, and the last 3 months also in transfer. What was the targets? What could we not more or less buy for? But you know how many did we target, and how would we want to do things? So that's been good, and I expect it to be good going forward.
Yeah, and transparency is important because why?
No, I think then it's clear what you in what direction we're working. Are we aligned? What kind of strategy is it? So I think that should be absolutely clear.
Because you've got a massive following, because you're communicating with it.
No, yeah, but I think I took that for granted. Actually, yeah.
Can I ask you one that's not Daniel related? But do you expect Yves Bissouma to be part of your squad now? Is he still going to go before some of the foreign windows close? Or?
I think, of course, there's a few foreign windows, but I'll be surprised if anyone is leaving us now. So the answer is yes, he's part of the squad. Hi.
As well, this with New Era is about kind of more wins.
Say again, sorry.
More wins, more sporting success.
Yeah.
Do you feel the extra pressure with that?
So who says? Try to start with the answer. I probably didn't understand it. Yeah.
The New Era.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk about more wins, more sporting success, more focus on the pitch. I wonder if you feel like the ambitions have changed at all already. Do you feel like any extra pressure in that regard?
That's probably the good thing about not reading too much, because I didn't know that. But now you told me, so I think we all want to win as much as possible and end as high as possible. I'm pretty sure we're all aware of where we stand since my first press conference here with you guys to now. Of course, we had a fine window. I'm pretty sure we know where we are around in the food chain in terms of what we're competing against, and it's from now we need to build and compete and hopefully develop and get better.
Yeah, you talk about everything happening very quickly. I wonder if you might, at some point in the future, sit down with Daniel Levy and have dinner, have some wine or something.
I could easily see myself doing that. So yeah, that's very likely.
And on the squad, do you think there's enough depth? I mean, we talked about that before in terms of the kind of competitions this season. I wonder if after the transfer, do you think there's enough to kind of manage all the competitions this season?
Yeah, I would say I think the biggest thing last year was probably the injury situation. So can we touch wood? Hopefully, get on top of that. Then we will have, I think, more than enough players to cover all the competition we are competing in. So that's the aim.
What was the Colin Wani signing at all?
The what? Sorry.
The Colin Wani
Yeah.
signing, was it at all with Solanke's injury in mind?
No, that was not. We wanted one more offensive player in. Yeah, you're welcome.
Hi, Thomas. You
Hi.
also came from Brentford, which from the outside sort of looks like a perfect example of sort of stability and everything very calm.
Also from the inside. Yeah.
Here you've had, so much change in such little time. You've captain Daniel Levy now. Has it been sort of difficult to adjust to just that level of noise and change you've had to cope with?
I would say that it's more. I think just been probably in the way it's been just extremely busy. So talking about the leadership group, I haven't done it yet because there's too many things on. So because I need to know a squad, players, staff, new relationship with everything from Daniel to Johan to Vinay to build that, to build with the recruitment department. So all that need to be built. So that just take more time. So I think that's probably more the bigger thing. You can say naming a captain for me is not. I came in, there was a captain, I need to name a captain, so not a problem. Of course, you can say the bit with Daniel, of course, is big news, but I only worked with him really for 3 months, so it's not like if it was in Brentford that suddenly Matthew left and another came in. That probably would be a little bit, So not too much for me, if I'm honest.
And going back to the Tell decision, obviously you said you don't want the biggest sort of squad to be able to choose from. But is that something the club need to consider going forward in terms of recruitment, so that you're not in a position where sort of a £30 million signing is one of sort of 6 first-team players that you then can't include in the squad?
That we need a bigger squad also.
No, in terms of recruitment, it's
Yeah.
something to think about, that you're in a position where someone you spent that much money on like a few months ago, you're then not able to include for your Champions League squad. Does that need to be more of a focus in recruitment?
I'm not sure if I understand the question, because I have a limited number of players for the Champions League squad, but I'm very happy with the squad size itself, if that makes sense. So no matter if you could name 30 players to the Champions League or 20 players, we will not have more or less players, probably at the same amount of players we have now. We just like to be able to name more in the Champions League squad.
I guess it feels like it's sort of been a problem for not just this season, but something Tottenham had to deal with for the last few years in terms of that European squad and the makeup of it. Is whether it's sort of getting more club trained players through and sort of building through the academy. Is there sort of maybe an overarching, not review, that makes it sound a bit more serious, but something the club needs to be more aware of?
Of course, I've been here 3 months, so it's difficult for me just to say that, but I would definitely say that we should have academy that are good enough to produce club-trained players in the future. That must be the aim, no matter what. I'm sure they do a top job over there. I've spoken to them a little bit, but that, of course, needs to be the aim, of course.
Can I just ask one last quick one?
Mhm.
Rodrigo Bentancur was in his last year of his contract. How keen are you for the club to provide some clarity on his future and agree a new contract there?
I think first and foremost, very happy with Rodri. I think he's been a very good player for us, a top professional in every aspect. I'm happy with him. He's happy with being here. I know that for a fact. Let's see what will happen in the future.
Jacob, to finish, please.
Sorry, West Ham were pretty delighted with Kudus' first season.
They were, yeah.
Not so impressed with his second season. The question I think is always the consistency. Is that, do you think, it's challengeable?
I don't know. We will see, of course. Of course, I follow him from distance, and I was like you, or impressed with the first season at West Ham, and a little less with last season. Sometimes also looking from distance, they maybe didn't hit their best season for various reasons. Again, I don't want to go into details. It's very difficult to judge from the outside, so that maybe doesn't help. From the player perspective, I can only, really speak about the players I'm coaching. And right now, I think he's been quite consistent with good performance. Hopefully, he can keep that going forward. That's definitely the aim.
I mean, he got 4 or 5 goals last season. Is that something for you that he needs to improve in his game? And look what he did with, for example, in Bueno at Brentford in a similar kind of position. Do you have that kind of vision with him as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think all front 3 players or front 4, they need to provide goals and score goals. And I would say especially the wingers and the striker need to have a quite a significant number of goals, or as many as possible, of course. So of course that's a target. It's a target for Mo as well. I know he's very eager to get better numbers on the board, and he works very hard on it.